Good morning, afternoon, evening for some, wherever you might be in the world. Welcome to Identiv's Technology Partner Highlight Webinar, the second in our new series of short on-demand webinars featuring our technology integration partners. This is where integration meets innovation. Our Technology Alliance program serves as a dynamic hub designed to connect, promote, and support seamless interoperability across a comprehensive security management system. Through strategic partnerships, we're enhancing product capabilities, broadening customer reach, and driving the future of digital security. Today, we will be highlighting Express Entry handheld badge and biometric readers with our ITAN partner, Telaeris. We have Jose Flores, the VP of Sales at Telaeris, Alex Jacobsma, the Senior Software Engineer at Telaeris, and Identiv's own Ron Fiedler, the Senior Product Manager, and myself, Ryan Burke, as your host, Senior Marketing Operations Manager here at Identiv. Today, Ron will give you a quick overview of Identiv and our ITAN program. Jose will give you an overview of Telaeris and their Express Entry products. And lastly, we'll finish, Alex will give us a live demo of Express Entry with the Velocity Access Control software integration. And with that, Ron, I will hand it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. All right, Identiv's Hirsch product line is an end-to-end physical access control system. It includes host software, control panels, door readers, and credentials. These are under our brands of Velocity and Primus. We're industry recognized for a unique product called Scramble Pad, and we have just launched the Scramble Factor as a 3-factor high assurance device. When we do not make the solution, we partner to complement the offerings. This on-demand video series supplements various other promotional activities from our Identiv ITAN program. And this emerging Identiv Technology Alliance network, it's a categorization of our alliances. The gold alliances are for our core integrations to these host systems. The silver category is where we work through SDKs and APIs for interfaces with other systems. And then our bronze categories are peripheral devices that complement and hang on to the overall solution. This particular video is in the readers category, and specifically, again, Telaeris's mobile verification handheld solutions. So with that, I'll turn it over to Jose Flores.
Thank you, Ron, and thanks everyone for being here. My name is Jose Flores. I'm Vice President and one of the co-founders of Telaeris. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about Telaeris, about what we do, and about Express Entry. So Telaeris was started back in 2005. My partner, David Carter, and I are known for what we've done in the RFID space. And quickly along us founding the company, we were asked to help out with an access control problem. And that's really what got us kicked off with Express Entry. In its very first state, it was for bus validation to bring temporary workers into a refinery. And from there, we've grown. We have a lot of different modes, as we'll show during our little presentation here. But as far as Telaeris, what you should know is we're US-based. We also have a European sales team. And what you're seeing here on the screen is your local America's business development and sales team. Mark Miller has been with us for a very long time, and he knows our product very well, very well. And we also have Eddie Bradley, who is our newest member of the sales team, and she's come a long way. She knows a lot about your access control system, and she's able to support you with Express Entry as well. And as for me, I think I know what I'm talking about, but we will show you a little bit more as we go. Mark Miller is going to talk to you about some of the customers and some of the projects that we've done along the way and how we've integrated with your Velocity systems with various customers.
Thanks, Jose. As we kind of cover our customer base here at Telaeris, I just wanted to be able to say that we've had an extreme amount of success partnering not only with Identiv, but with Identiv resellers all across the globe. Here at Telaeris, with our handheld reader and emergency mustering solution, we've been able to provide services to a wide variety of different verticals. different types of companies ranging from the US government, DoD sites and facilities. We've been especially strong working with the Identiv team in that space, but as well as lots of work in the oil and gas industry, energy, utilities, lots of work in the manufacturing space, as well as being able to operate, surprisingly, in the entertainment industry. Companies like Disney, Netflix, Warner Brothers, for example. Within the Identiv space, again, U.S. government has really been a strong suit of ours, but the Express Entry application really fits all verticals, including K through 12, healthcare, as well as the other ones as I mentioned previously. So, it's something that pops up, especially within the mustering realm. Every single customer that you are working with has a need for emergency mustering and accountability, and so it's something that we can assist you with. Back to you, Jose.
Yeah, well, one of the things that really makes us proud, and in particular, David Carta, who you saw on the first slide, is comments from our customers about how we work, about our product and how well it works. And one of the things that we can show you all these great things, but every now and then, we're not perfect. Problems will happen, and it's how we face those problems and what we do to help our customers resolve the issues, and that's where we really stand out. So, we welcome you to do some fact checking. We have our testimonials on our website, but as you get to know us, hopefully you'll agree that our customer service, our engineering support is solid, and we stand by our product, and we are able to support your customers very well. We are currently present in 41 countries worldwide. We have a very strong presence, of course, here in the US and Canada and LATAM. So, I show you the images of the three of us that cover this region, but other parts of the world, we also have our products installed. It's working very well. And for things like Mark said, entry exit tracking, emergency mustering, things like events, bus validation, we've got you covered. So as I'll show you in the next slides coming up, you'll see that we have a bunch of different modes of use that could be something that your customers can definitely use. So I want to welcome you to visit our website. In the website, you're going to have a lot of useful tools and information that you'll be able to see for yourself and learn, and also share with your customers or with your stakeholders to see exactly what we do and how we can help. There's a short 2-minute and 23-second video that'll describe a lot of the different modes of use and how we integrate with Identiv. And we also have a resources section within that page that'll provide, how we integrate and how we install and things that you might need to set things up. But at the end of the day, it's a very rich section that you'll be able to use for your knowledge base, and we can support you. So why Express Entry? Basically, your safety and security professionals are eventually going to need a tool that they can use out on the field to be able to verify whether a person should be or should not be at a certain area, or have access or not have access into that area. And we have the solution called Express Entry, which integrates seamlessly and natively into your velocity system, for example. And we can provide that information on a handheld so a person that's holding the device can make a decision quickly and accurately. So Express Entry, at its core, it's a software and hardware solution that, like I said, is able to look at the velocity database and pull the pertinent and relevant information to be able to allow somebody to make a decision to get to allow somebody into or out of an area. So the way that it works, it's pulling and pushing data real time through our Express Entry server software and feeding that information over to the handheld devices. All of the badge scan activity that's going on back at the facility at fixed readers is reported back through Express Entry server software, and you can see that activity over on the handheld devices. Just as well, any badge scan activity that you're doing on the handheld devices is being pushed back up through Express Entry server software to your velocity system. Why is it important to have that information in real time available on device? Because if you have an emergency event, like an emergency muster, you can go out to your muster points and you can rely on having correct data to be able to account for people during an emergency event. You'll know who's been scanned and you'll know who's missing. You can provide that information to a first responder so they can make a quick decision of knowing where to go look for that person, what they look like, and when they were last seen. I'm going to let Alex talk about this slide about connectivity.
Thank you, Jose. So Express Entry has a couple different pieces to it. There's the server software, which Jose had mentioned, that is communicating with the access control system, with your Identiv system. And it is communicating through the Identiv SDK. And the Express Entry server software pulls all relevant information into it and pushes that information out to the devices so that the devices can use that information. This slide is demonstrating how that communication flows. So between Identiv, labeled PACS at the top left, it is communicating with the Express Entry server software. Express Entry is pushing that information down to each of the handhelds through various different methods. The handhelds can operate off of a Wi-Fi, a direct Ethernet connection, or cellular. And the handheld just needs to be able to communicate with the Express Entry server software over TCP port 30,001. So long as it can do that, it can properly communicate with all of the Identiv information back into Express Entry bidirectionally. And I'll pass that back to you, Jose.
Thanks. And the Express Entry system, when you are to receive it and you install it in your system, like Alex mentioned, it's consists of two parts. It's the server software and the handhelds, and they're designed to work in sync to keep your Velocity system up to date, and the handhelds as well. So with Express Entry, you're going to have a lot of modes of use. Entry exit is a very used mode, and it allows you to be able to allow people to enter and exit. On the screen, you're seeing a person holding a device, very bright green entry mode. So you scan a badge. If a person has permission to enter that area or has all the rights, it'll flash green and allow the person in. If they do not, it'll flash red and it'll give the person holding the device a clear command on what to do. They'll know if a badge is expired, if the person needs training, if a security clearance needs to be updated, etc. So it's a very powerful tool to have in your hand to make a determination to allow a person in or not. With emergency mustering, it's one of the most common uses for our solution. You're able to account for your people quickly and know what to do. So people will report to their nearest mustering point, whether they're assigned to that mustering point or not. They'll flash their badge. As quickly as they're scanning their badges, this list will start going down. Hopefully you'll have 0 folks that are missing. Being mobile is really important. We have customers who work with very dangerous chemicals, for example, and if they're out at their mustering point and there's a change in the wind patterns and now the wind is blowing very dangerous elements out to the mustering point, you need to move. So with our solution, because it's mobile, you're able to take the device and go to a safe spot, whether it's on premises or out at some parking lot 5 miles away. You can do it with our solution. Like Alex said, you can communicate through Wi-Fi or cell connectivity, but also it can continue to work in offline mode, and you can account for any kind of missing people in a different way. One of the very common uses that's been kind of growing more and more is events mode. So after the pandemic, a lot of companies are going back in hybrid mode, where not everybody is showing up to work as they did back in 2019, 2017. So what they're doing is they're holding these events where they might invite, say, the engineering team or the sales team to a meeting where people are supposed to show up and be accounted for. We provide a way of doing that with your badge holder database. You can create an event. You can invite members that have a badge, of course. And then wherever you are, you can start the event, and you can record who is showing up to that event. And you could see a list as a report of who showed up, how long they stayed. You can activate stuff like ticketing and a lot of other features within the events mode. So kind of as we're describing here, with our Express Entry solution, it's one system and you have a whole bunch of different ways that you could use it. Showing on the screen here are kind of 12 of the most common, most important modes of use. And once again, I welcome you. If you have any questions, reach out to your Identiv team or reach out to Telaeris, and we'll be glad to show you how these modes are set up and how they work. And they're all included as part of the one package, which is called Express Entry. Coming back to being a hardware and software solution, what you're seeing on the screen are the different versions of the hardware, the handheld devices. We have our standard PDA version of the handheld. We have the version on the back that has a biometric enabled, fingerprint scanner, and we have the gun handle version of the XPID 200, which allows you to read either low frequency and high frequency or ultra high frequency if that's what you need. We also have a kiosk version, and we have an IDEMIA type reader for really for more than anything the government space where you have certain requirements as far as fingerprint scanning. And yes, and as far as the handheld biometric validation, we also have facial recognition that's we can enable on our devices, and that's another way that you can, of course, authenticate people that are coming onto your site. And lastly, as far as any kind of badge technology that you have or your customers might have, we've got you covered. I don't have the exact number, but I think it's over 40 different badge types that we read currently. We also are very knowledgeable about working with, any kind of encryption or encoding technology on the badges. So let us know if you have a specific, kind of a challenging badge that you might need help being able to read, and we'll work with you. On the server software side, Alex mentioned basically that it's designed to be installed, and it can be co-located in the same location where you have your Velocity system up and running, or you're able to spin up a Windows VM and install it there as long as it has constant communication. At the end of the day, if you'll think about this as middleware that's monitoring all badge scan activities on the Velocity side and keeping our handhelds up to date. And also, once again, any badge scan activities on the handhelds are being seen through the server software and reported to the Velocity system. And we do have a pilot program that we can talk about. We encourage you to reach out to sales@telaeris.com, and we'll be glad to work with you there. And with that, I'm going to pass the baton over to Alex, who is going to give you a demonstration where you're going to be able to see the Velocity system running and integrated with Express Entry.
Thank you, Jose. Okay. Well, thank you. What we have here is Express Entry running server software running on the right-hand side, and the handheld device interface shown on the left. We are currently in entry-exit mode, and in front of this, I will from time to time pull up my Velocity system, which shows which Express Entry is currently integrated into. So to use the system or to set up the integration, it is done within the Express Entry server software, and Express Entry server points to Velocity through using the Velocity SDK, and it will pull over the cardholder list that exists in your Velocity system. As you can see here, we have the same lists that they all originated from Velocity and pulled into Express Entry. The goal when using entry-exit mode for our Express Entry system is for you to be able to add on handheld or mobile devices to be able to scan Velocity users in and out with no interaction within the Express Entry server software. It is just passing through the information to the handheld device. Once the data is present within the Express Entry server software, you can begin scanning badges. You'll see these activities being pushed to the Express Entry server software, and immediately after, they are pushed to Velocity. if a activity or a person is denied, you will see it will create the alarm within the velocity system. Express entry, the second major use case of express entry is the emergency evacuation management. For emergency evacuation systems, express entry is used to be the accountability list for the emergency. So in this case, a client within Express Entry is often used so that Express Entry, you can view who has been properly accounted for during the emergency. To get there, we'll go to the muster mode. And it shows the total list of people who are inside the facility. You take the device out to the assembly point and just start scanning guards. As you do that, the missing list and the scanned list on the server software and on any Express Entry client software will update with your new missing and scanned list. At the time in which you're out of people to scan, you will have a smaller list of users that you need to locate. So you can look at your missing list and start making phone calls. We can customize this screen with information such as phone numbers, emails. Sometimes it's a supervisor that you need to contact that knows where this person would be at this time. And then after those calls are made, you usually are able to manually submit these users. If there are any people who are still not accounted for at the end of your emergency, that is when you take this device, you show it to the emergency services. It shows the last zone that a person scanned into, perhaps the facility, perhaps a specific zone within your facility, depending on how your Identiv readers are set up, and it will it provides that information for you on the device so that you know where they were last seen and at what time. Lastly, Jose had mentioned an events mode. Events mode allows you to create an event and have a list of people that are allowed to be inside, attend this event or expected to attend this event. So I'm going to put a Christmas party in here. We'll set it for June 13 at 1 p.m. Sounds good. It's about to happen right now. We're going to create an attendee list. As you notice, as soon as I added that, you could see it pop up on the left. We'll make an attendee list of, we'll take these people. You can also move over an entire company in the system or an entire access group or several access groups, and it'll take all the sub people or all the people that are inside that access group. And the device will begin the event. And as we scan, you're able to generate reports about who attended the event. And if somebody that was not allowed to be part of the event, they will be denied, such as these people here. At the end, you have an attendee report, who was allowed in, who attempted to go into the event. So that's Express Entry in a nutshell. It's pulling Express Entry or pulling data from the Identiv system into the Express Entry server software so that it can be used by the handheld devices. And thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Jose and Ron and Mark. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed learning about Express Entry handheld badge and biometric readers by Telaeris and the seamless integration with Identiv's Velocity Access Control software. If you'd like to learn more, please reach out to your regional sales manager at Identiv, or you can contact sales@identiv.com or sales@telaeris.com to be put in touch with the right person to continue the conversation. Stay tuned for more exciting ITAN partner highlight webinars coming to you in the near future. Cheers and have a great day.